Hey guys, how are y'all today? I hope everybody's doing well. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you can hear me and that all is well in your world today. So y'all can see a little bit. I have been rearranging the studio. I have a Sewing Machines Plus live again on next Monday and a brother live next Monday. So I finally got my second camera put up here and I'm excited about that because it's a remote control camera and I can just aim up wherever I want it to go. So I am super excited about that. Oops. I guess I need to turn off AOL here. Let me get out of there. Now we'll go back. You're hearing bings from AOL. So I have actually been playing today. I'm working on the Brother Sews live, trying to get that done before I take off to go out of town. Do y'all have any exciting Thanksgiving plans for us today? Where's everybody going? I happen to be headed to Wisconsin. It's a little bit chillier there than it is here. Not looking forward to that weather, but looking forward to seeing family. So it's gloomy there in South Texas. It's absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous day here. Cold, but or cool, I guess I should say. I can't say cold because I'm going to cold, but it's cooler than it was like yesterday. It was 70 degrees. Today it's about 45. So it's a little bit different. So okay, nobody sent a single question in this week, guys. Y'all are killing me. I so I am not sure where you want to go with this today. I thought I would talk a little bit about drop caps in the BES programs and how you could achieve that out with your BES software, excuse me, with your PE design and your BES. But go ahead, DJ. I'll answer questions first. that like I do like to be prepared to try to get an idea what we're going to do, but I have no clue as to what y'all want to hear about today. So I am waiting on yours. You're staying in Florida for Thanksgiving? I wish I was going to Florida for Thanksgiving. That's Christmas for us. So we're still going to, we're debating, but I think we're going to end up in Florida for Christmas. Work on the house. Is there a way to adjust the tie and tie out measurements? No, there is not. It ties in and ties off automatically unless you turn that off. That is the only you can't adjust it. Now, you could make your own, but it's going to still do what it does. So, unfortunately, there's not a way to change that measurement. But I can show you how you could make your own. So, let's think about that with text. Hold on, let me share my screen. Okay, so, and we'll go to full screen. And do I have this saved? No, let me save this before I go forth and multiply. Okay, let's close that one out and let's save this. Oh, it's already saved. Good. All right, so we can just do new. And let me turn off my grid. I'm not a big grid person unless I'm trying to align something. So if you're trying to do your text and you wanted to do a tile, now this is a little bit more convoluted than most things that we do. I'm gonna type in some text and let's pick a font that's built in here. And let's pick a color we can see. How about we go with red? We'll make that a little bit bigger. Just so you know, the machine is automatically, unless you turn it off, it's going to jump and tie off at 10 millimeters. Now, you can, excuse me, 5 millimeters. Any jump that is longer than 5 millimeters is going to tie off and trim. So if I come and measure that down at the bottom, that's 7.79, it's going to trim. However, this little short one right here, 2.2, not going to trim. Anything that's long will trim. Now you can force them to trim, just so you know. If you go into your text attributes, no, sewing attributes, let's see here. your sewing attributes. If you have it go the furthest distance, you will force them to trim. So that it will do as best a job as it can to make you trim. So if we look at that trim that we said wouldn't trim a minute ago, it's still not going to trim because it's still a shorty, but the other one's a long one. So you can force it to trim. Now, most of the time we want it either the closest connection or the default to force it to trim. So let me show you how to make your tie-offs if you want to do it yourself. Convert it to stitches. After you've got it the way you want it, you're going to press convert to stitches. So I'm going to put on some undersewing before we do that. And we'll say convert to stitches. Once it is converted to stitches, then you have the ability to go in and adjust stitch points. So if I come and let's see here if I can find the last stitch of this. If I go Control End, that takes me to the very last stitch of that. Let's back up. That's not what I want to do. I want to go to, I'm just going to do the Control key with the arrow key and see where it ends up. So you can see it jumped right there. All right. So what I can do at that point is I can come in here and yep, that was my last point. So I could come in here and I can adjust that tie off to where they are longer. I can add a few extra stitches in there. And then you could bury that down underneath if you want to. So that is what you would do on each tie off. So wherever it's jumping, that's what you would do to adjust that. Okay. It's kind of weird. Usually it shows me where my jumps are. Oh, no. Interesting. Okay. So that gives you that capability of viewing it that way, but that is how you can get there. Now, an easier way to find where that jump is going to be, if you click on the select point tool and click on your line. Come on. They've changed something here on me. Huh. There it is. You can then back up one and add those in. That is just weird. Maybe that's my computer. All right, so I mean, that's how you can do that. So let me see here. I saw another question here. If you have my connection, oh no. If it's an actual cut file, no, it won't go from the Luminaire. The Luminaire is only reading a stitch file. If you can send that from Canvas Workspace wirelessly, but you can't send a cut file, an SVG or an FCM from the Luminaire. It only goes the other way. Okay. So that would be a Canvas Workspace item. All right, guys, y'all are not chatty Cathy's today, so I'll go back and start talking about drop caps since that's something we haven't talked about. All right, in your BES software, your BES Blue, your BES 4, your BES Silver, all three of them have this drop cap capability, but it is specific to certain fonts. So if I come in and I type in my text, and I click apply, I want to look for a font with an O in front of it. That means it's an outline font, or as I call it, it has options. That's how I remember it. When I have an O font, I have options to play with. So what does drop caps do exactly? Oops, I hit the wrong button there. If I click on the drop caps menu over here and I choose baseline, baseline means it's going to go from the bottom, and the drop caps percentage, the default is 150. You can make that bigger, you can make it smaller. I'm going to go ahead and click apply so you can kind of see what it does. It makes that first letter larger, and when you choose baseline, it's along the baseline. If I change that to the top, it's going to flip it to where the drop cap goes down towards the bottom of it. This is a way of highlighting that first letter and kind of giving it more emphasis. There are some fonts that you'll find that you like it better on than others. Let's see what Westway does. So that one's kind of fun to do it with. Let's change that to baseline. But essentially what it does is it makes that first letter larger and either centers it on the top or on the baseline. So depending on what you're looking at. Now, how can I achieve that in P Design? Because there's no drop caps in P Design. Let's select new. Oh, let's do one last thing. I didn't test this first, but I'm pretty sure it will work. I think if we choose true type fonts, it will let us do it as well. So let me see. Let's say we do Alex Brush. And we choose top. Nope. So it is only the O fonts, just so you know. I did not test that before. Figured I'd check it out one last time. So how could I do that here? And could I do that with the other fonts without choosing drop caps? Yes. All right. So I'm in P Design. I just have a basic font selected. Doesn't matter. Pick a font, any font. It can be something that's built in or something that a true type font converted, whatever you want it to be. I am going to pick. Let's do, where did that one go? Let's do that fat one. All right, so if I come and I select that center point there, you have a diamond on the side, you have a diamond at the bottom, and you have a rotation circle at the left. This makes the letter larger, so that would be your increased size, and this adjusts it off the baseline. So if you wanted to put it from the top, there you go. If you want to take it from the baseline, leave it where it was. But it's a simple matter of making that a little bit larger. So using that theory, let's go back to the BES software. And this one did not convert the way, it didn't do what I wanted it to do. So if I want to do drop caps on this one, can I do it? Yes, if I hit my text tool and click that center dot. Here you have the enlargement tool is the square. So if I take that and make it larger, I make it larger, and then I can take this little square in the center and I could move it down. And that's how you would do it in BES when you don't have the drop caps. It's not going to be quite as mathematically precise as the other one, but if you don't have that capability of doing it with the way it is, that is a way to do it. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, Karina, how are you? All right, guys. So thanks for popping in today. I'm glad that everybody's showing up. Like I said, though, I do need some questions from you guys. That was one of the things that I have been playing with lately, trying to see what we've got going on. Nobody's talking. What you got going on for Thanksgiving? Give me some hints. All right. So, and I don't have my Art Spira up here. I don't have my tablet up here. I would show you and play with some stuff. But let's see what we've got in Canvas Workspace. Because I want to save the stocking for next week. When would I use drop caps? I would use it if I wanted. A stocking's a perfect opportunity to use it. You want the big letter for the first letter of the word, and then you want the rest of the text. I've also used it Now this is me, okay? So let's go look at this before we move on. So the text tool, and let's go find that running stitch font that I have. So it is in my UD fonts, this one right here. Oops. That's how you change the font to the font style for the first letter. So if I wanted that first letter to pop more, this is when I would use it. Now I might want to drag this one to the left or right. So if y'all don't know this little trick, when you put your cursor to the left or right of one letter, you can drag that letter over and decrease the space. Let's say I wanted to move it below the baseline. So it all depends on what you're going to do. Okay. It truly is how you want something to look. But I just did the word Merry Christmas in that running stitch font that I created a few months ago. And then remember I converted that to stitches, or no, converted it to stitches. Actually, I think we're just going to convert it to blocks initially. That should work. And then I put a chain stitch on it, if you recall. But before I do that, let's make this the size we want it. Let's undo and undo. And let me zoom out. I'm going to make it bigger. I am going to center it upon itself. And let's put it back in the middle. And then let's take those first letters and let's move them down and make them a little bit bigger. So that's an example of how I might use this. Now, if I go to text and I say convert it to blocks, now I can put my chain stitch on it. And if you all recall, I believe we went with a small chain stitch. Let's go with like a 3 millimeter. And I think I had it running three or four times. And if you want to see what that looks like stitched out, I can kind of show you. I can kind of show you. So that's not the exact word that I just did, but this is an example of it. So that's what I would tell you. Okay, let's see here. Well, you need to get into it again, Karina. Get into it again. Good applique font for a Grammy sweatshirt. Grammy on a sweatshirt, applique font. Let me think on that one for a minute, okay? First of all, have you gone in and activated the My Connection? If so, once you've activated My Connection on your Stellaire, have you signed in to your Artspira app and connected your machine to the Artspira app or to Canvas Workspace? You got to do it one place or the other. Doesn't matter. It'll work both ways, but both of them have to be on the same Artspira. They've got to be communicating with Artspira or Canvas Workspace, depending on how you've got that set up. So that's what I would tell you, is just kind of check that out. There is a guide on how to connect it. And if you're still not connected next week, let me know, because I will be set up. My machine will be in camera mode for me to be able to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Isn't it just crazy when you get playing with your new sewing room? I mean, I've spent 2 days in here just kind of rearranging, and it doesn't, it's nuts. Let's see here. Oh, Cindy, you have to get that hooked up. That makes it the most fun. It truly does bring a lot of fun to your life. If you got to get the My Connection done on your Luminaire or your Avenir or your Stellaire or whatever you've got, those are the three that do it. But it adds a magical button to that machine, a truly magical button. And yes, so who was it that asked about? Um, okay, so Fran, what software program are you using? Just give me a minute, then we'll look and see. Yes, my room definitely looks different. My PR1X is over here. My 10 needle is back there, but I've got SMP, I've got to show the print motor, so it's right there. And the TV is so that I can be able to look and see what people are saying or know where I'm looking and see what people can see when I'm actually doing the presentation. So it's kind of fun. And yes, I do as well. I can kind of let you take a tour here if y'all want to take a tour. So there's that side. And then if we go this way, there's that side. So there you go. You got a tour of the room. And the PR1X is out of camera view. I'd have to really work on it a little bit. Yes, maybe not next week, but what are you having trouble with, Sharon? There's the thread exchange and the so next week I'll have the cameras. I'll have a camera set at the Luminaire and I can have one set at the 10 needle. So we can try that. Okay. I do like the PR1X. One of the things that you need to realize about it is the older technology when it comes to the screen, and it is not wireless. So if that's important to you, that would not be the machine to purchase. But it has a great sewing field. It's an 8 by 12-inch sewing field. It stitches 1,000 stitches a minute. It has the 2-point positioning on it, which is the bomb. It uses all of the standard hoops that the 6 needle and the 10 needle can use. So it's really got a nice space to it. It can use all of the specialty hoops. So, I mean, overall, it's a great little machine, and it's a little workhorse. Yes, that is camera rails in my ceiling. I'm telling you, I've had one up over here since about maybe January, February. No, probably later than that. Maybe May. And then I got my husband, and I've had the rails ordered for a long time, but getting my husband to get them put up on the ceiling has been taking a little bit longer. So um, this one, I just got him to finish putting it up Sunday night. So he finished it for me. I was like, I've got to have it done. I've got these cameras, and every time I move, the camera moves its position. I'll have it all preset and ready to go and go back and look, and it's nowhere in the right position. So that drives me nuts. um, I'll send you a link to my rails. They are actually the bomb. Okay, guys, where was I going? Oh, we were going to go look in Canvas Workspace, see if there's anything we can do last minute. Let's go into the Canvas Workspace projects and see if there's something fun we can do for Thanksgiving or fall for our table. Nope. Let's see here. All right, let's see here. What could we do with... Let's take that. And let's make us a turkey. All right, we're going to skip this part, although we need the head, so we'll grab that. Oh, come on, play nice with me. Thank you, Fran. I'm waiting on Fran to. Oh, P design. Oh, then you don't have to have an applique font. Okay. Yes. Thank you. You got to rein in the squirrel. The squirrel went by. P design, a font for an applique. Let's see here. And that's what you wanted it to say, Grammy. Let's see here. How big are you going to make it? I'm going to put it in my 8x8 hoop just for the heck of it. And let's see what we can find as far as a font goes. Okay, yeah, then I can tell you that would be thread exchange. So when you're looking for a font, you want to look for something that is going to be, I mean, it depends on what look you want, honestly. You don't want a skinny font, is what I will tell you for applique. A skinny font is not going to be your friend. Are we doing all caps here, Fran, or are we doing, what am I trying to say? Upper and lowercase. I kind of like that one. Let's try it. All you have to do, if you're in P design, are you in P design 10? Okay. Ooh. All right. In 10, you got to do one extra step. Okay. We don't have to do this step, all caps. Okay. We don't have to do this step in 11, but we do have to do it in 10. Okay. In 10, you're going to have to convert your text to outline first. I want to make that wider. I just think it will be nicer. Let's make it a little bit wider and rotate it. There we go. I usually will tell you to space them out a little bit further because you don't want your stitches getting on top of each other. So it's easier to go ahead and space them out before you ever start. And then you're going to say convert to outline. You do not have to do that if you are in P Design 11. If you are in P Design 10, you must do this first because you can only do one letter at a time. So we're going to ungroup, and then we're going to come and grab the G and hit your applique wizard. I don't know what kind of a stitch you want covering it, but we'll say a zigzag stitch. My width is 3. I don't suggest that you go under 2.5. You're going to replace, and you're going to click OK. Now let's grab the R and do the same thing. This time, see that little hole in the center? You want to make sure you put a check mark in front of create an applique with hole sewing, because that will flip your stitches to the correct direction. So you're going to do the same thing when you hit the A here. I'll see if it'll let us do multiples, but I'm pretty darn sure. Oh, I lied. We can do them all at the same time. Okay. So hold on. Let's just go back to the big. I'll make sure I'm not crazy. Oh gosh, God, no, I'm in the. Sorry, I forgot I'm in 11. I don't have 10 on this computer, so you'll have to test and see if you can do it that way. But I am in 11, so 11 doesn't make me do what. But I can't run 10 on this computer. Don't ask me why. I have no clue. Did I convert that to? Oh, converted it to the wrong thing. Convert to outline, not blocks. Got to be convert to outline. Then you'll get replace, and you'll do it for each letter. Make sure you put that create an applique with hole sewing in there. And there you go. So that's That's how, I mean, that's one that I would use. That's kind of an athletic looking one. If you don't like that, let's see what else we've got that's bold and happy. One of the things I like about P Design is that it will give me the ability to use my arrow keys and see what those letters look like in that particular font. So that one's not a bad looking one. I don't like that one. Los Angeles was the one that I picked first. I liked it. I'm not crazy about Saipan either. See what that one looks like. No. That one's all right. Not my favorite. So it really depends on what look you like, what look you're going for, but I would not go for a skinny font. That is the biggest thing I can tell you is don't go for a skinny font. Because they will not convert very well. Let me show you what I mean. So let's say we do this one right here. If you then convert that to outline, and then let's ungroup it. And let me show you what it looks like with a applique done. It's just so skinny. Oops. Did I convert it to blocks and not outlines? Huh. Oh. It did not like that. Let's do this. Let's merge that. There we go. We're going to have to do the same thing with this one. That's because that was a true type font. I mean, this isn't bad, but you're really just not going to get much of your fabric. Ooh, undo. Okay, so there's a problem with that one. We need to, why is there a problem with that one? Huh. That is very bizarre. Oh. Okay, guys, when it won't convert for you, y'all have heard me say this before. Let's go and turn off our fill stitch, and then let's look and see what's wrong with this. Can y'all see that there is a little dip-de-doo there? That is keeping you from converting it to an applique. If the lines cross over themselves, you cannot do an applique. So now let's try that. Must have another crisscross somewhere. Let's see if it'll do it now. Now we have a replace. If your outlines crisscross, that is what I will tell you to look. So there was, once I merged that together, there won't be on these little lines here. There won't be. But I had to actually end up merging that one together. Because you can see it definitely did the whole sewing because that has moved that line, the cut line, to the center instead of the outside. So it did give me that option, but it wasn't until I did it the second time. But that was because I had to merge those pieces together. Okay. You can do that, Karina. I mean, you can drag the letters so that they're wider if you want to. But I honestly, if you just pick a font that's not skinny, that's bolder instead, you will have much better luck. It will not be as bad. And Caroline says she uses I like Cooper Black as well many times. There is not, okay, depends. If you have BES, either blue, silver, or 4, there is a quick drop shadow. Let's pick something besides pebbles. New. All right. So there is a drop shadow button here. Now, there's your button. You click apply and it automatically applies that second color. What you need to know is that it does not remove the first color. It just gives it an offset. Let me turn off my stitch view. It basically just gives the second color slightly shifted off. So if you want to do that in P Design, you could. You just copy, paste it, change the color of the second one. And then take the first one and move it slightly. Let me hide this one for a second. Come on, play nice with me. Move it slightly down and slightly over. Now let's unhide that. So there's your drop shadow. If you want that removed, you have a little bit more work to do. And if you don't like the way that's so far in, you can then come in. Let me see if I can get it to play nice with me here. I can move it inward and then down some more. Okay. Yeah, you have overlaps. And you do in BES as well. That is the downside. But what you can do is then, what do I want to do? Convert to blocks and convert to blocks. Now we should be able to remove overlap. And there you go. So the key is to convert them both to blocks and then to hit remove overlaps. Now you may want to tweak the secondary piece because it changed it into, well, it's not terrible, but oops, didn't mean to do that. But I would probably grab that and let's see here. Oh, don't get the underlay stitches. You're not going to let me do it one. You're going to make me do it one piece at a time. You have to be kidding me. All right, so I'm going to grab my Alt key and click on that piece right there. Oh, well, duh. You have to be on the right tab, Goofy. I'm sorry, my brain is definitely not functioning appropriately right now, because this is what I'm looking for. I'll show you here in just a second. Was on the text attributes tab, and everything was grayed out because there's no text. Okay, click auto, and then it will adjust the curve of that again. And I would also put in a little bit of pull compensation on the secondary piece. And that should give you what you want. Okay. So that's the way you would do it in PE Design. You cannot remove the overlap in BES unless you save the design as a PES file, bring it back in as an outline format, and then have fun. But just keep that in mind. Nope, they do talk if they're not on the same network. It does not matter. They have to be connected to the same. Ask me how I know. I have sent it to myself from someplace else. They are communicating via the cloud, which means they are using Canvas Workspace to bridge that gap. So they don't actually have to be on the same network. They have to be connected to the same account, but they don't have to be on the same network. But they both do have to be on a 2.4 gigahertz wireless network. Okay. Yep, you got to convert them both to blocks. Otherwise, the remove overlaps will not work. Okay, guys, anything else? There is one other thing we could have done to that first set of to the Grammy. Let's just hit new page and don't save that. Something you may not realize that's there. All right, so once you've got your text typed in, and if it's a true type font, you can come in. Let's go find us a true type font down here. Let's say we do that one. If I touch true type font settings, this will tell you what options you have for that font. So if I want it to be bold instead, so if it was just slightly too skinny for me, I could choose bold instead, and it will automatically bold it up. Now, I did not do pull compensation because if I convert this to outline, the pull compensation will go away. But you can go into those true type font settings right here, and you can select how you want that font to appear. So let's go look and see if we go to Cooper Black. And I go into my true type font settings and I choose bold. That is not Cooper Black. That was very weird. That is Cooper Black. So we've got this as bold. I'm going to copy this and paste it just so you can see what I mean. If I convert it to outline, my font is the same size when I use the bold. However, if I came in here and I added pull compensation, oh, that's way too much. Let's say we added 0.4 pull compensation. When I copy that and paste it, and then convert that to outline, evidently I didn't copy it. Control C, Control V. Now, if I convert that second one to outline, let's make sure we just get the second word, and I convert that to outline, if you look at it, usually it is slightly smaller. So let's see here. let's change this to a different color. Where did the G go? Change that to red. And then let's zoom in on it. Can you see how it is slightly smaller where the pull compensation was added, because pull comp goes the direction of the stitches. So it is slightly smaller. And that's why I don't tend to do that. So your letter doesn't hold the boldness. You can see that that one is much bolder than this one. Okay. Now, that one would be one that would be kind of cool. Let's see. It's a little bit too much. Okay. I mean, if you're trying to find an italic version of a true type font, it's only available for true type fonts. So look there and make sure that that's that. I know, Vicki, but Design Database only does embroidery and Canvas Workspace only does cut files. So what I tend to do is I will send it all from my PE design from layout and editing, because I can, that way one thing is open. But and I mean, that requires me to import stuff or just save it to a USB. All right, guys. What? One fussing itch, Patty, just saying, fun fact, I've done it myself. And the only reason I can tell you this is because I have had to, in working in a show, when you work a show, the Wi-Fi networks are totally unreliable. You never know what's going to happen. So there are times that I have the scan and cut on the booth Wi-Fi, and then I'll have the Luminaire on my hotspot. But both of them are connected to my Canvas Workspace account. So they just and to my Artsphere account. So they'll just transfer back and forth that way. But that's how I learned. They're pinging the cloud. They're not actually directly talking directly to each other. So it doesn't truly matter. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to give, I'm extending the sale on the decorative, wrong button, wrong one. I'm extending the sale on the decorative fills. Where did that go to? It'll be available until next Wednesday. Where did those go? Oh. Well, fiddle-dee-dee, where did it go? Did I accidentally delete the banner? Evidently, I did. Just a second, and let me save this, and I will copy it off. Oh, where did it go? Okay, so 15% off, and I've got that off any decorative fill collection. That'll be good until next Wednesday. Okay. So that is my Black Friday. What do we want to call it? Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and Techie Tuesday. We'll go ahead and call it all. So 15% off any of the decorative fill collections. Yeah, I know. And most people think that they both have, that everything has to be on the same network. They don't. Now, if I'm sending something from my computer to my machine, they both have to be on the same network. It's when you're talking interconnected machines that's when they ping different things. Okay. It's good to see you. You must be on vacation today. Good to see you back. Small Business Saturday. So yes, support your small businesses. Small Business Saturday, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Techie Tuesday, Cyber Monday. There you go. Covered them all. Thanks, Black Cyber Sale. I like that one as well. We may just call it that. Um, so my winter fills are really cool. If you haven't seen those, there's a little bit of everything in there. Let me go see if I can bring you up a tab here. No, I don't want to go there. Okay, let's see here. So if we go to these, I didn't give y'all, I was too distracted this fall. The fall ones are pretty cool as well, but I think my favorite ones are my winters. I don't know. The fall ones are fun. I meant to make myself a football sweatshirt with my footballs, but I never got around to it. This fall has been kind of nuts. The winters, they are more expensive, but you do get more. Okay. Why is that not going big enough for me? You're just being ornery. But you've got bears, you've got champagne glasses, you've got the trucks are very cool. You've got mittens, you've got trees, you've got reindeer, you've got your Santa hats. If I have time, I may try to do a mini collection, but I mean, there's something for everybody there. There's also, if you're a Hanukkah person, there's dreidels. So I tried to put a little bit of everything in there. So thanks, Caroline. Get Lost Tuesday. That one's funny. So, all right. So Cyber Monday, I will be on SMP for 2 episodes. If you're interested in sketch or print moda, I'll be talking about those 2 items 15 minutes apart. So he's giving me 15 minutes of a set change, which is why we have had to get the cameras rebooted. On Tuesday, I'll be on Brother Sews Live with Kathy Gandy, I do believe, and we are doing stockings. You can get these on my website, cynthiasembroidery.com. And the 15% off is good off of any collection. Doesn't matter which one you go for. Okay. Who knows? Techie Tuesday, we may do something else. I don't know. I may change it up, but that sale is good till next Wednesday. If there are no other questions, I guess I am going to go walk a pup and see you all at Pack to go out of town. So see you all next week, hopefully. And have a great Thanksgiving. Try not to overeat yourselves, or do. Get yourself in a turkey coma. I love turkey. I love fresh turkey. That is one of my favorite things to eat. So that I'm excited about that. But I'll have to say, when you go north, and don't shoot me if you're a northerner. Do not shoot me. It is not. I'm sorry, but white bread mush is not stuffing. It's not dressing. It's just white bread with celery and onions and butter in it. That is not how we eat it in the South. Cornbread dressing is the way to go. That's all I'll say. And I don't even like cornbread. Angela and I haven't talked about the ugly Christmas sweater. I'm hoping not, because I don't know that I can go through that. I don't have any fun things to do. Maybe we'll do ugly Christmas stockings. Something different. I don't know. I did the dog sweater. I did my own sweater. I don't know that I can come up with another sweater idea. We'll have to see. I'll talk to Angela about it and we'll see what we have to do. And by the way, um, and yes, thanks, Terry. I'm sorry, but that is not dressing. It's just not. It's just blue. Now, then when those people that go in and put raisins and stuff like that in theirs as well, oh heavens, let's get back down to the basics, gang. Get back down to the basics. It is cornbread with biscuits, onions and celery. That's all you and then I mean, some people are sage people. I'm not really a sage person. I'm a poultry seasoning kind of girl. I like the poultry seasoning, a little pepper, and then we can go from there. But you got to yeah, they had to start early. My cornbread would have already been made and my biscuits would be already drying out. I do think it's hysterical. We dry everything out only to put a whole bunch of moisture back in it with chicken broth. So you got to love that. It is truly a Southern thing. Everything has to dry out, then it all gets crumbled together, and then you pour in the moisture back in. So, yes, ma'am, we are on the same page. That is poultry seasoning is the route to go. Sage is just too much, in my opinion. So, all right, y'all. I will see you all next week. You all have a blessed weekend and have fun. Bye bye. Oh, wait. Terry's got one. Dumplings and dressings. And my mom and dad did it together, and so there was this tradition. I'm telling a little bit much about this, but there was this tradition. Now, granted, there's eggs in this too, guys, just one or two, but there's a little bit of there's eggs to bind it all together. And so we would mix it up and pour in all the moisture and have everything in there ready to go, and we would stir it. And then my dad would stick his fingers in it, take a bite, and go, that's just about right. And then we'd add a little bit more pepper. So, or add a little bit more poultry seasoning, depending on what you're going for. But that's the tradition in our house is that when you're making the dressing, it's all about the maybe that's just about right. So, and always when it came out of the oven, it's time to you had to take a test bite. So, all right. Well, have fun stuffing yourselves and enjoy your families and enjoy your turkey and dressing. Yes, cut it apart, just sew it back together. That's true. All right, guys, y'all have a great day and we will talk to you later. Bye bye.